Good morning, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey.
Wake up, wake up.
Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, May 1st. Happy May Day!
It is May Day, and we are here at work just because, you know, this is work, but it's also to get the word out for things that are going on in town. We can't take the day off. But
Wait.
those of you that are
What is May Day?
taking the day off because it is May Day and not sticking it to the man, we applaud you.
Is May Day like Labor Day?
It is this year. It was a call for people to boycott, not spend any money, not do things,
work?
not
I
work.
should just like get up and go.
Yeah, sure. Bye. Well, why start now? So welcome everyone out there in.
Yeah, thanks for joining us,
Thanks
guys.
for joining us today. I want to start by saying our art this week is by Maureen McCarran. You've seen these birds on the Provincetown Tourism Office, the colorful ones up in the windows. Maureen has a show opening at the Commons tonight, as is James Ryan, who has amazing art up there, and a collage show that is part of the Outsiders Fest. You want to go to the Commons tonight and see all the fantastic work that's up there. So there's that.
Friday night gallery
Friday,
stroll.
Gallery stroll, and I'll talk a little bit later about a new gallery. You know what? Everyone's like, things are closed. There are new galleries opening all up and down Commercial Street, which is fantastic because that was the one thing I thought was going to change. But now that businesses have to stay businesses on Commercial Street, it's less likely that a gallery will become a condo because they can't. And that's what we voted for at town meeting. We have Chuck White and ABD are here with the Outsiders Festival, and also Select Board candidate Dana Master Polo will be here to give us her platform and why she wants to run this crazy little town.
When is our election? That's really soon.
It's May 12th.
May
But
12th.
early voting is already available, so one
Excellent.
can vote right now, right after you leave
Is
here.
today? Wait, when did they start
It
early
started
voting?
Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
How was your week? You were away.
Oh yeah, so I was not here last Friday. I was in New York for a week with my sister and nephew. He's graduating high school in June, and I can't go to that. So we were like, let's take him to New York, treat him to his first Broadway show.
Oh.
He and my sister chose Lost Boys, the brand new musical based on the 80s teenage vampire movie starring Diane Wiest and Kiefer Sutherland. And I say Diane Wiest first because as a middle-aged gay, I'm like watching a Broadway show based on a movie that came out when I was 8 about teenage vampires, and I'm identifying with the mom. And I'm like, all of these kids are brats.
Oh, they're horrible. Well,
Yeah.
it's a retelling of Peter Pan.
Right, but like the two kids, like I think in the movie it was Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
shut up, hide under the bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like let the mom take care of all of this. But it was a wonderful experience for them. Even though last Saturday, the day that they got there really late Friday. Saturday was our day in New York, and it rained for 24 hours.
Ooh, fun.
Have you ever been in New York when it rained the
Horrible.
entire time?
And you're not, yeah.
You have and my nephew only brought clogs. So he's in like socks and clogs, and I was like, it's gonna be raining all day, don't you want to put on shoes? He goes, this is what I brought. And I was like, did you bring 2 pairs of shoes? And my sister's like, no. And I was like, let's walk to Central Park.
Wait, when you say clogs, are we talking Crocs or are we...
Crocs, like
Oh,
holes, like
Crocs.
Crocs.
Okay. Wait, I just said clogs. I was like, your nephew is a fag.
No, like the ones with holes in them.
Okay, Those are Crocs.
They're Crocs?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, his shoes had holes in them.
Okay.
They're still clogs, technically.
They are, thank you. You're talking about a specific brand of clogs. But we walked 22,000 steps over 9 miles in the rain in New York with umbrellas that weren't doing anything.
Oh, I commend you for that.
I'd never been to the Central Park Zoo before. It was pouring, so you could just walk in. There was nobody to like stop you from walking in.
Or any animals to see because
The seals were loving
Oh, the
it.
seals love it.
Yeah, we saw the seal enclosure or whatever pool. It was a really fun day in New York. I also saw 3 other Broadway shows with friends of mine before my sister and nephew got there. So if you're in New York, I have some recommendations for you. You have to, absolutely no matter what, cancel all your other plans and go see Titanic. It is one of, if not the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It is a retelling of the movie Titanic with Celine Dion as a character.
Okay.
So,
okay.
The woman who's playing Celine Dion like wrote it, conceived it with like one of the other people in the cast, and all of this. It's like a Celine Dion jukebox musical. All the songs are Celine Dion songs. Celine Dion as a character. The girl that plays Kate Winslet looks just like they come out and they're walking down these steps and they look just like the people, and the guy from The Big Bang Theory plays Kate Winslet's mom. And
Josh Parsons?
Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons,
plays
okay.
Kate Winslet's mom.
Okay.
Deborah Cox is in it playing the unsinkable Molly Brown. It's like the randomest group of people, but like all-star cast and so good. Especially if you're a Celine Dion fan. I don't think you have to be to enjoy it, but it helped. And I also saw Cats the Jellicle Ball.
Word.
They've revived Cats, but it's now like an episode of Pose. They're all like voguing, and it's like a runway and a ballroom. Like it's like a ball, a drag ball.
But it fit. Like it's
Yeah.
the exact song.
They don't have to change a single word of the lyrics, and it completely fits what it is. I don't know if you guys know that. Excuse me. There's a revival of Ragtime on Broadway right now, and like that's one of the greatest theatrical experiences of my life. But all of my New York friends are like, Cats is going to beat Ragtime for Best Revival at the Tonys next month, and I'm like, really? So we shall see. But it's like a completely reimagined, and it's like a totally different experience. If you're somebody who hated Cats because it's a dumb show with no story, it's still that. But it's great now.
But at least it's contemporary.
Yeah, everything that was wrong with it is still wrong, but it's just a totally different experience. So go see that. It's like one of the, everything that we saw. We also saw Rocky Horror. So I'm like, Rocky Horror, really gay cats, Titanic. It was like the gayest week in New York that I've ever had, and I've had some gay weeks in New York.
Do they have the sinking of the ship bit in
Yeah.
Titanic?
Yeah.
All right.
And it like ran off Broadway for like 8 years,
Yeah.
and so now you can tell the actors are like, we're on a real stage.
And a big budget.
Yeah, like it looks like they're on the set of The Voice. Like I think they even make a joke where they're like, look, it's crazy. You have to go see it.
Well, that sounds like some high recommendations.
So then I got back and went right back to work.
Yay.
And-
Red Inn opens?
Yes, the Red Inn opened on Wednesday to great fanfare, a kissing booth. Yeah, it's just like the kiss and cry, everybody's like, how have you been for 6 months? Where have you been? Thank you for being here. Thank you for opening back up. So we are so back. We're open 7 days a week. Happy hour from 2 to 4:30 is only on the weekends right now, which means today is the first Red Inn happy hour of the season. Come by at 2, I will be there.
And then you can head to the first tea dance, which
That's right.
is today.
First Red Inn happy hour, first tea dance, go to the Commons for some art.
Yeah, there's lots, it's popping. May
Yeah,
1st. It
Friday is
popping.
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 How was your week?
It was fine. I had to move. I had to do the shuffle. So I was
spring shuffle.
The spring shuffle, which hopefully will be one last time. I get that apartment at the.
That drawing is soon too.
No, it's like May 12th, May 19th. Yeah, I can't. I'm on tenterhooks, as they say.
At the same time as the election?
No, the election is on the 12th. The election will be over by the time the real election, the drawing of the lottery numbers. So pray for me. Hopefully I'll get a year-round apartment. I won't have to move again. Anyway, that went smoothly. And then we did a Cody show this week, which was wild.
What was the theme?
It was with the Sustainable Cape.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Love
wild
that
because
cape.
it wasn't in the wild. So we were in the piano bar. And I guess they had forgotten that we were doing a show. So a bartender didn't show up. And so we had a lot of people looking for drinks that couldn't be.
Oh, they never came.
Nope, never came. I was told they would be, but they never came. Anyway, so we had about 85 people crammed into the piano bar.
At a no-drink show?
And then when we got done, there was like still no one on property, so I was like, there was no lights on the porch, because they're usually closed on Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
And they were like, I was like, people were gathering on, nope, street, get out, get out, get out.
They wanted to stay.
But I was like, I'm not being responsible
Right.
if you fall down the stairs in the dark, and I'm not going to get blamed. But I was like,
How
get
could
out of here.
anybody who's not drinking fall down?
In the dark on those stairs with no railings? I don't know, you tell me. Anyway, we look forward to the Wild Room. There's so much work going on up there, and I know they're like
Is there a
under the gun.
projected opening date for the Wild Room?
I don't know anything about that.
It sounds like you kind of work there.
I was the only one that night working there.
In charge. Mark's in charge
Yeah,
of the Gifford House now.
No, thank you.
What isn't Mark in charge of?
Yep.
Nothing.
There would be so much more things done if I was.
You heard it here first.
You know what it's like being in charge, Dana. So that was my week.
Great.
I did last week go to the opening of a new store in the former Map Space, which we no longer have to call it the former Map Space because it is now the Flotsam.
It's old
Space.
Map. Sorry, it's old Map.
Yeah, it'll always be old Map.
Flotsam?
Flotsam. It's called Flotsam, and it's incredible new space. Lots of locally sourced items, and so we have a video of that.
Oh.
Hey, I am at 188 Commercial Street with a brand new store that's open. The dynamic duo behind this well-curated space called Flotsam is Sylvia and Brian. Now, you guys, what is Flotsam?
Flotsam is a gift shop, but it's not just that. We specialize in local and handmade art and artisan goods here.
Oh, cool. And somebody asked me today, they're like, what does Flotsam mean? And I was like, it's this stuff that floats around. Like, what inspired you to take that name?
Traditionally flotsam is sort of like the treasures that you'd find that came off of a ship back in the day. So we kind of liked the idea of curating a selection of things that just felt like little treasures that you might find.
And everything in here, it does feel like a little treasure and feels like somebody's hand created it, which...
Yeah, we want you to feel like you walk in the space and you're gonna find the perfect little thing over here, maybe the perfect little thing over there, and sort of gather your collection.
And I like that it's not like super crowded. You can like breathe and look at things, and it's just a beautiful experience featuring local art by a local artist.
Yep. Right now we have a featured artist, Grace Emmett, on our artist wall. We'll have a rotating series of shows throughout the summer, so things will be changing.
And you guys are artists yourselves, correct?
Yes, we're both artists. I'm a printmaker and a bookbinder.
And I do oil painting, and I also make video games.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, you could be selling those here. The only place in town that you could buy an interesting new video game will be here at Flotsam.
Get like 100 floppy disks and just crank it out.
Oh, you have a whole workshop in the back. So come on down to 188 Commercial Street. Check out and say hello to Sylvia and Brian. Bring your do-re-mi because there's going to be something in this store that you want to bring home to yourself or your loved ones. See you next time, guys.
So check out Flotsam when you get a chance.
They're open already?
They are open currently.
And you said it's the owners of the store working in the store.
Yes, because I think they know that when you start a business, you have to actually work in the business all the time, and they're not like going to have 17 employees all at once, like a lot of businesses that end up closing because they have spent too much money. You have to work in your establishment.
Especially at the beginning.
Yeah, at least for the first couple of years, and then maybe we hire some anyway, whatever. That's just an observation I've made, and that's why businesses are no longer here. So, speaking of business, Provincetown Independent this week, support local journalism, Outer Cape Health Plan, Outer Cape
Health Services.
Health Services, which is our rural health organization here, because we are rural.
This is our Rural Community Health Center.
Yes, is going to go to hybrid care, which means a lot of video telehealth options.
They're moving toward a hybrid model.
Yes, because Damien Archer, who is the CEO, said that they don't have a problem finding doctors to work here. The doctors have a problem finding housing. If you know that you're a physician, it's a pretty high salary job, or a head nurse's assistant, whatever, and those people can't afford housing.
Doctors can't afford to buy condos in Provincetown?
Not at the rates that they are. So they're going to go into this hybrid model, a lot of telehealth. They can see more patients by doing this, and they have a huge backlog. They have like 400 people waiting.
Everybody that moves to town is like, it's 2 years, a 2-year
Yeah.
wait before I can see a
Yeah.
primary care person.
And if you have gone to some of the older doctors who have been there, a lot of people who work there and are retired and they have property here and they're like, I'm going to work a couple days a week or whatever. And then all of a sudden they're working 60
300
hours a week.
patients.
Yeah, and they have 1 million patients. So this is a way to sort of support our community in a more efficient manner, I suppose.
I see in this headline it says at least 40% of primary care appointments will happen remotely.
And I think it's for like, look, I have a mole and you can do this to the camera.
So you have to be like, Dr. Shea, zoom in.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you-
I mean, it's an option, and it happens in a lot of rural healthcare places where they don't have a medical center nearby and stuff. And we are very, very, very lucky
I know.
that we have the clinics that we have here on the Outer Cape, and this is a way for them to provide care in a way. And it's not going to work for everybody. I'm sure if you're the 80-year-old lady that's been going there forever, but you know, those.
So
same-
they're going to prioritize people, obviously, that they need to see in person.
Yeah.
But if it can happen virtually,
totally.
then they're going to do that.
A lot of follow-up appointments will be done telehealth.
It's not going to be the first time I pointed my asshole at a computer.
Just
Kidding. Just totally joking.
Wait, is that corn or a
Whoa,
ghost?
whoa.
Yeah, yeah. So
don't wanna go down that rabbit
we don't
hole.
want no. It's a big step.
Is it too early for this?
But I think it is an important step for us to get to be able to see the people that want to live here.
Awesome.
And you know, for those people in Truro that say we don't need housing, or people in Wellfleet that say we don't need housing, why are we building so much housing? We're overdeveloping it. It's so people like nurses and doctors can live here, and you can go to an appointment at Outer Cape Health and not have to go to fucking Hyannis or Boston. There, period, there. Hot topics, Truro. Speaking of
While
Truro,
we're on the topic of
while we're on
Truro.
hey, you guys need a new DPW garage. It is unsafe. It is toxic. You are going to have to spend a lot of money because
That's the old one.
this is the old one. Because
Very wise of them to put a picture of the dilapidated old one
Yeah,
on the paper,
yeah. It's-
so that you can see why they need a new one.
it's in danger of being shut down for safety reasons, basically. This is a can that's been kicked down, like the Outer Cape generally has
This
done
is
for
like
years.
this is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it looks
That's
like-
what the old
I
one
think
looks
that
like.
warehouse was safer than the DPW intro. It's going to cost money, but it's actually already have a design. They already have it's been bid out, etc. It's going to cost $3 million less than what they thought, but it's $26 million. It's not nothing. They could have proposed $27 million, which would have been big enough to park all of the very expensive equipment inside.
That would have saved a lot of money down the line.
Yes, but they thought that the voters would reject that, so they went with the lesser proposal.
Rural.
Yes, well, we want to keep it rural, but we want to have trucks plow our rural roads, but we don't want to have them parked inside to save
Rural
the
roads.
mechanics of these buildings. Anyway,
They're going to vote on that soon.
they're going to have to vote on that at their town meeting, and hopefully it will pass.
But just to play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
you know, we go to these town meetings, and every time they propose some giant thing, your instinct as a taxpayer is to be like, oh my God, we can't say yes to everything.
No, but what the problem is that the Outer Cape towns, being Yankees and not wanting to spend money, have always kicked the can down the road. And what happens is, if you don't do this thing that you have to do, again, safety issues, it will cost $4 million later when you kick
Yeah.
it down. Same thing with our police station.
It's only going to be more
Right.
later.
Many of the Outer Cape towns did not invest in their infrastructure. We don't need a sewer. That means people will live here. You know, that kind of stuff. So they're finding that, yes, you do, in order to not pollute the waterways. And so, and
For the record, I was saying yes to the police station like 15 years ago when it was $7 million.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, why are you voting yes on this? That's a fortune. Guess what we ended up paying? Not even going to say.
because you don't know.
It was like 12 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like some huge number.
There's a very, there's a lot of NIMBYism and there's a lot of dissonance. Is that a word? Yes.
Yes.
There was a thing in the Independent, one of the editorials last week, was a young person that had to move out of Wellfleet because they couldn't find a place to live. And they were very much looking forward to moving back to Wellfleet, where they came from, and they should be able to live where they want to, et cetera, et cetera. But they were opposed to the Morris's campground. Because, well, if I move back to Wellfleet, I want it to be the same Wellfleet I grew up in, not to have all of this housing and people living here,
I like the voice you're assigning to this person.
I know, I don't even know this person. But it's interesting how we will vote against our own well-being or the well-being of the community just because somebody from Bourne, or what is that guy's name, Barnstable, that guy?
Oh,
Eric
Eric Schwab.
Oh, that guy.
Am I making a face? I'm trying to look neutral.
No, yeah, it's real neutral. I mean, he was actually banned from the Wellfleet community space.
Eric Schwab is running for Barnstable County Commissioner, and he lives in like Bourne or wherever up there, Barnstable Town. And he's in every community space, including the Provincetown community space, like spewing misinformation, changing a yes to a no on like the Cape Cod Commission put out a poster, or maybe it was the CDP, about like, vote yes on these articles at Provincetown Town Meeting if you care about housing.
Yeah, exactly.
He changed the yes to a no and reposted it. And I'm like, that's diabolical.
Yeah, he is.
Eric Schwab, we got you.
There's a lot of people on that commission, and there's a lot of people in the Hyannis, Orleans area and stuff who believe, and I've heard it quoted from a member of the commission, she didn't know I was listening to her conversation, who said, we're not a year-round community, we shouldn't be building these housing. I don't know why we want new people to move here and live here. We are not a year-round community. It's like, unless you were a year-round resident.
Was that Sheila Lyons?
It was.
It was Sheila
Lyons.
Lyons.
Then you
We're
are
calling people out today, baby.
Well, yeah, and it's just, it's the people that, I don't know what they want. I don't know if they want to go to a grocery store or a doctor or a mechanic. Treat and you are bordered by a national park, a bay, and an ocean. Undevelopable.
Right.
It will always be rural. And these are already spaces like Morris's is a developed space. It's not like cutting down virgin forest and then putting things. There's already people there in the summer. There's already traffic in the summer. Yeah. Will there be traffic in the summer? Yes. Will there be traffic in the winter? A little bit more, but it's winter. And I mean, ugh.
Dan Gessen for Barnstable County Commissioner, guys. Remember the name Dan Gessen in the fall when you vote for Barnstable County Commissioner. Yeah. No to Eric Schwab.
Oh God, no.
Ron's a nice guy. Ron's second choice.
Okay. So speaking of community spaces, this is an article about the Wellfleet community space and how Mr. Schwab was kicked off.
Boom, bitch.
And if you know anything about community spaces, they are very little about community, or that's how they started, but now it is literally people like your Randy, whatever his name is, Randy Kaufman, and people who do not live here, who are constantly egging on everyone. Trolling. Everybody.
That's the scientific term.
Oh. This is trolling, and just constantly putting in misinformation, or what Randy does is like we'll just put an article in,
just a
and he just wants people to comment on it, and it's like the Christine Barker thing, this, and it's so toxic. Unfortunately, we have to be on it to talk about this show, so unfortunately I spend time on the thing. But Wellfleet, they're one of the moderators of the Wellfleet. In an interview with The Independent on February 12th, Larson described the Wellfleet community space as the most diplomatic of the 3 Facebook groups that she runs. 2.5 months later, she said the Wellfleet community space had become her toughest page to moderate. They're having to now moderate every single post because there's so much misinformation about the Morris's campground, redevelopment.
Who has time for all this?
People who want to sit there and they want to, this is not the town I grew up in. Yes, it is. But you don't even know your neighbors because there aren't any neighbors because they're just summer rentals, and the kids that can't have their kids in the schools, and the schools are getting smaller and the schools will be shut. You're like, what's happened? People still lament how the Provincetown High School closed, how this town died the day that school closed. Why? Because people can't afford to have kids, and so they're having fewer, and they can't afford to live here. And when we ever try to address the issues, people say, it's too much development, we don't have the water. Bullshit.
Like millennials who are of child rearing age are having to go off Cape because it's like, well, we can't raise a family here, so let's just move.
And they want to be here. They want to be where they grew up. They love this place. We all love this place. Right. There was an article in the New York Times this week about people not having children, and I was like, let me read this. It's in the business section, and it made me laugh because Tyler and Karen, or Tyler and Nancy, whatever her name is. They're outside of Salt Lake City, and they have a home. And he's a firefighter. She's a nail tech, and it's a 2,000 square foot home. A 2,000 square foot home. We can't have a kid because then we will have to get a bigger house, and she might have to take more shifts as a nail tech, and he would have to give up his hobby of golf in order to have children. And there was another couple that were in an interview, and they're like, we like to travel, and so, having a kid, it wasn't about how poor people can't have children because they've been having children forever and they find a way to make it work. It is about these wealthier people. They're like, yeah, it's just not for me.
Golf or baby?
Yeah, golf or like baby. You have to
I
make
would pick
sacrifices.
golf.
You don't even golf, do you?
I know, but I don't want a baby either.
Oh, well, no, and
Sam's giving us the move on.
No. So the a couple of fun things up in the East End. Tilly's is opening, which is way in the East End, 512 Commercial Street. I have a little picture blurby thing. Don't go to the website because there's nothing on it. Brand new gallery, performance space, etc. That's happening up in. That's another thing that's going on tonight. I can't wait to check it out.
512 Commercial.
512 Commercial.
What did it used to be? Tell people what it used to be.
It used to be a store, but it's not Tilly's. Tilly's was a grocery store, neighborhood grocery store, which David Dunlap said was a few doors down. But the guy, Tom, that's opening Tilly's, thought it was 512 Commercial Street, which was a different store. Mary Heaton Morris wrote about the different store. Anyway, go check it out. It's great to have something new in the East End before the construction starts on the Pat DeGroot house.
Oh, and if you're moving to town and you already have housing but you're looking for a job, Google Rhinestone Ranch, Provincetown.
If you
we're going there?
If you have a country
Oh,
flair.
we're going there.
If you have a country flair, yeah, there's
The
a
boot scoot and boogie.
evidently we are getting, unless it's a really big trolling, which it could be if you know the person who's has over the years. Evidently we are getting a country western bar in downtown.
Yeehaw!
We will see what happens.
I hope so.
Yeah, and one last thing, there was a split lobster, not split, a chimeric lobster was caught off the Gulf of Maine, but by a Eastham fisherman, a lobster person, and it's split right down the middle. It was a male and female egg that then fused back together, so it's two different colors. It's very
But it looks
rare.
like one lobster, but it's two different colors.
Two different colors. It's orange and red, and normally because it would that type of animal would die because it would be hunted because it's not camouflaged. So it's not being eaten. It is going to find a home in the aquarium at Woods Hole. Where it can grow forever and ever because lobsters live almost forever. There's like 200-year-old lobsters. Lobsters
sounds
as
like a
old as
real
America.
outsider to me.
Oh, very good, good tie-in. All right, well, that is our news, and we are going to go now to the weekly roundup with Sam Sewell.
Take it away, Sam.
Take it away, Sam.
Good morning and welcome to the Wake Up Weekly Roundup with me, Sam Sewell, for the week of May 1st through the 7th. I could not help myself because today is May, and after April, it's going to be May. Shameless self-promotion time. Please, if you have not gotten a ticket, and if you haven't, they're all sold out, so get on the waiting list to see me in tiny houses at the Cotuit Center for the Arts. And again, I'll be dissecting some very strange emotions and making these faces while these women stare at me like this. And again, that's Tiny Houses. I'm in that at the Cotuit Center for the Arts Black Box, written by Kristen Stewart and directed by Jay Stewart. So, I'll see you there. Hopefully. Anyway, moving along, it is Friday, May 1st, May Day. And you can join the crew over at Women Crafts for May Day Strong at noon o'clock. They are not working or shopping, but they will be singing. So go join them and be in community over at Women Crafts at noon. Also happening today, First Tea, a sure sign that the season is kicking off. That's at 4 p.m. at the Boat Slip, and I'm sure Sean will have some more information on that. Also happening this week and next, the second annual Outsider Festival is happening in town, and you can get all of the details at Camp Provincetown.com. This is a really cool Provincetown-centric event with lots going on, including tonight. Also, it's the full moon on May Day, and you can celebrate with the May Day full moon party. Provincetown Collegists Missing Time opening reception at the Commons from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And just plugging another shameless self-promotion because you can catch my work during Lost, the National Garden of American Zero's artist launch with Jay Critchley in collaboration with Jim Youngerman. That's at 7 p.m. at the Commons. Come hear some sounds of the lost species. Also happening on May 1st at the Commons, please check out James Ryan, The World Is Not Enough. Their show is happening until May 10th. Grateful for you, King. So glad to see your work is up. And also, if that's not enough, you can get some singing on with Voices of Hope with the Outer Cape Chorale, happening today and tomorrow at the Provincetown Town Hall and May 3rd at Nauset High School. Moving on, Saturday is Derby Day, so whatever that means to you, mint juleps, large hats, and all, you can celebrate at the Bowie Bar over at the Boat Slip. Also, the Wellfleet Harbor Actors Theater will be showing Eugene Onegin, which is a Met opera, large and in charge on the big screen at 1 p.m. on the 2nd. Then on Sunday, also at What? Please join them on Sunday at May 3rd for their second act showcase featuring stories of recovery and resilience developed over the past 8 months. That's also at the Wellfleet Harbor Actors Theater. Then on Monday, May the 4th be with you. If you don't know me and you haven't gotten on my text threads, I like a meme, so it's meme heavy this week. Then on Tuesday, speaking of, it's Cinco de Mayo. So however you like to celebrate, please enjoy Cinco de Mayo responsibly. Also enjoy the Pilgrim Monument Stories on the Hill, tending to your needs during troubled times. A live workshop with author and coach Mara Gletzel. It's free to the public, and it's happening over at the Pilgrim Monument from 5 to 7 p.m. Then on Thursday, another free event happening on Thursday, May 7th at 5:30 p.m. over at the Provincetown Public Library. Nature Talk, a spring bird migration talk with Mark Faraday. Whew, that's a lot, but wait, there's more even upcoming, because I just want to plug this happening during the Camp Provincetown Outsiders Festival. I love a theater experience, so go check out and put this on your calendar. May 8th, 3 short play series at the Red Room at 7 p.m. This is going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see you there. And also, because I like free and because I like ice cream, I'm just gonna also promote the Banana Bash happening at the Wellfleet Historical Society Museum Saturday, May 9th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It's fun and free for the whole family. And also, one last thing, the annual town election is happening May 12th, so put that on your calendar. If you live and vote in town, please exercise that privilege because it's happening on May 12th. As always, if you like to see anything, please email me at wakeuproundup@gmail.com or at me at wakeuproundup on Instagram. Enjoy the rest of InSync's dulcet tones. I'm grateful that it's May. Enjoy.
Season is happening. Get here and enjoy all the things Provincetown has to offer this spring, especially the second annual Outsiders Festival. We have Chuck White and ABD here to
Hi,
tell us
guys.
everything they have to
Hello.
do.
How are you?
Second annual. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. We at the end of last year, we were just like, we weren't sure where to go next, and then we lost Ronnie. Ronnie was a big part of our team last year.
Ronnie Hazel.
Ronnie Hazel. He died like literally a week after the festival, and it was the last time people saw him out. We did a tour of his house, and then Billy Huff, who was our other co-conspirator. There's trials and tribulations of Billy Huff. So we lost 2 of our main co-conspirators, even though Camp Provincetown is a team of many, many people. But we weren't sure what we were going to do this year, and I was driving back from Boston to Provincetown, and I had a flashback from when I was a kid, a teenager. A friend of mine who was a Vietnam vet was convinced that he was abducted by aliens, and he gave me a copy of Missing Time. And I read the book when I was 18, but I didn't know the whole other part about the abduction. And when I was working for Julie Heller, I consolidated her artwork, and I found the book sat on my bookcase on my shelf. So I looked at the name Bud Hopkins. I saw it forever. All of a sudden, I started finding these collage pieces in one of the containers of Bud Hopkins. And I was like, it can't be the same person. It ended up being the same person. So when I found out there was a legacy of the history of Long Point and Bud Hopkins and Missing Time and all stuff, all of a sudden I got in, even though we weren't sure what we were going to do next, all of a sudden it flooded in and I was like, oh my God, this transcends politics, this is going to be fun. And we started, me and ABD started co-conspiring this year, and with Joey Mars and I mean, everyone's been amazing. Demand Attention, Grace Hopkins,
Karen,
Bert Walker, Karen Capoto, Joey Mars, Jerome Green, Alan and Janet from Redwood. There's just everyone's, and it took, if it was just the two of us, we would have been, it would have been really hard, but we keep on having these waves of people that keep on coming and helping.
And what it is, the Outsiders Fest, like it is the artists and the creators that were sort of like outside of the mainstream, and it's a celebration of what some would say a bygone day of the gritty, like funky parts of Provincetown that slowly, as people pass away or move on, we kind of lose a little bit of that. And I think that that's what you're trying to keep alive is you might not know these names, but you've seen their work.
Yes, and the other thing that corresponded with built the new park, we walked out to the park and they said that Provincetown was incorporated in 1727. I was like, oh my God, the 300th anniversary, but no one was doing anything yet. So we're just like, we could take Missing Time, take that concept, start collecting everything now, and have everything ready for Provincetown 300.
Yep.
And we're building a time capsule.
Oh,
we're
cool.
gonna bury a time capsule.
Where are you going to bury it?
We're
In a
negotiating.
secret location?
Yeah, we're negotiating with a couple of people, and it's super cool. Either place where it ends up is super cool.
That's fantastic. And one of the things that you have, I was reading the articles, is this idea of this portal is the phone booths.
Yep. The phone was back in Bud Hopkins saw UFO on the way to a party at Hudson Walker's in 1964. And then in 1966, a private that was coming onto the air base in Truro was abducted for an hour at Dutra's, which is now Salty's, from a telephone booth. That's what the whole idea of the Missing Time. So we are putting two portals. Joey Mars created the portals. We're putting one of Salty's, and when the first one's being unveiled this evening on the front lawn of the Commons.
So it's an actual telephone booth.
Actual
Billy Renee, I read Billy Renee found the
Billy
transfer station.
Another really important person has really come through that. I mean, I know I'm forgetting everyone. They're going to be like, you promised you were going to tell you.
Billy Renee, La Madrid.
La Madrid. Yeah, so Billy came through with that, and we brought the portals down to Joey's, and he built them in his garage, and then ABD went in with their electronics PhD and started doing all the lighting, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and they're going to be permanent art pieces, because one will be in the alleyway, in the art alley,
Yep.
and then the other one will be at Salty Market for a year.
No, for the season.
For the season, okay.
Yeah, one at Coastal Tattoos.
It's going from the Commons being moved to Coastline.
Okay, cool.
Which is right at the end of the Ronnie Hazel Bob Gastoy Memorial Alley.
And so tonight is sort of the opening shindig happening at the Commons.
Yeah, today starts at Berta Walker's at 4. We have the Bud Hopkins exhibit.
Okay.
At Berta Walker's.
Outsiders exhibition. So Bud Hopkins and others.
Get in there. Go ahead. No,
Keep on going.
It's your turn.
Keep
I'm
on
talking.
going.
You may
It's your
speak.
turn. It's your turn.
No, keep on going. 6 o'clock. Keep on.
Please.
No, at 6 o'clock, the opening. So there's 3 opening receptions at the Commons. One is us. It's Karen Capoto curated this amazing collage show. We have over 60 artists. It's awesome. And then at 7 we have Jay Krishley unveiling his piece. And then after dark we go outside and we will reveal the portal that people can go in the portal and experience it.
And who knows where you will end up?
We don't know either. We don't know.
It's another way, because we're collecting stories and artifacts and everything for the time capsule. So the portals are just another way for us to collect stories over the next over the next months in
You can leave.
2026.
You can leave your story in there.
Oh, fantastic. So it's interactive.
Yes.
So that's great. And then what else do you have coming up? The programming is fantastic because it is in all different venues and it's just new stuff. And you have theater pieces going on.
Yeah, so Friday night, May 8th, at the Red Room, we have the 3 short play series. So we have 3 plays. So a Huey by Eugene O'Neill, it reinterpreted.
Okay.
Then we have Low Tide by Charles LeBlanc, a tragedy, a Greek tragedy happening here in Provincetown.
About a blind art appraiser.
Yes, it's
Always
true.
go.
And then we have Steve Aiken, who is a photographer and visual artist, wrote a play for us. So it's his playwright debut. It's called Showdown at the Silver Factory, and it's very good.
Based upon Andy Warhol, Edie Sedgwick, Bob Dylan, which
Yeah.
continues the whole last year with Al Hansen and the people all the different people that we honored last year. It's all about self-mythos, so we kept the Warholian theme going this year too with the play.
Yeah, so it's 3 short plays. It's going to be dynamic.
What's great about that is I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next one. You're like, oh, it's the next one. So if you don't have
Yeah.
patience for a long
So that starts at 8, but we open the doors at 7. We'd like people to come in and mingle, tell
there
each
will
other
be
their
a bartender.
winters.
Yes, yeah, well,
It's
because-
time to
Yeah, last year,
regroup and-
the opening of the Commons last year, Leslie Marshall, another amazing person who's helped us so much. We got people out. It's the first day everyone coming out of the winter.
Yeah.
And she said she couldn't believe the mixture of people that we got out last year.
And what's good about it is because you have like the old guard people, the Julie Hellers and the Berta Walkers, and then you have the younger artists that I think a lot of them come to this town because of the vibrant history we have of outsider art, and they're like, I want to be inspired. There was a guy at the Moby Dick Festival, the reading, who came from New York, and he was hoping to run into John Waters, and like he came here, like 4 modes of transportation to get here. So there are still young people that are intrigued by the weirdness of this place, and I think that you are keeping that memory alive.
That's the goal. There's
But then Saturday, so that was Friday the 8th. But then Saturday there's something at Spirit. I want you to present that. one.
So we built it.
Please.
We're doing a tarot card deck based on inspired by Cookie Mueller, but all the tarot deck cards are all different people: Ronnie, George Bryant, John Waters, Mary Heaton Vorse, and Linda Gerard. So that's the major arcana. That's going to be used for a tarot card deck that's coming out in the fall through the Provincetown 300. We're starting this thing called Made in Provincetown. So the very first thing we're doing is a tarot deck. So the prototype of the deck is hung at Spiritus right
Oh,
now.
fantastic! So who did the portraits?
It's a combination. It's Karen Capoto.
All different artists.
Yeah, a whole bunch of different artists. And this is just the Dave Tree, Ned Sontag, but then other people coming in because this is just the proof of concept.
Right.
So other artists are coming in, and by the time the deck comes out, it'll all be original Provincetown artists.
And then Saturday, I mean, there is a guest in the audience today, and
Amanda, come here for a second.
Amanda.
So that show's opening at 4 at Spiritus, and then Saturday night at 8 we have Not Your Mother's Fashion Show. Is it titled? The Manatential will host
I'll be
it.
hosting and I'll be showing some of my own fashion designs printed, and you're more than welcome to come and bear witness with your own eyes.
It'll be a sight to see.
It's a cavalcade of stars who will also be singing. We have Steve Carey, we have Demand Attention, we have Sarah Kane. They're going to present their collection.
And people like Gail Strickland, all kinds of all-stars will be modeling
Hilary
and
Tamar.
singing. And it's just going to be fun.
Yeah, that's all. Like I love it. Like it's like the Jimmy Lee fashion show. Like I love a fashion show where
Lisa
you have all
Carter.
different people.
That was one of the highlights of last year. That Steve Carey pulled off this miracle for us at Town Hall last year
Right.
with Maureen. It was so great.
And Amanda will sing a few songs too, so it's going to rock.
In real voice.
Oh, like
All
it is
real
right
voice.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, real.
This voice is real.
It's hard to believe, but it's real.
I know.
So where can
No,
we
it's real.
see? Where can we see the full schedule
campprovincetown.com.
Okay. And on Instagram, you have Instagram?
Instagram.com/campprovincetown.ma.
And in next week's edition, we
Yes.
will have a very clear.
Yeah, in the Provincetown May, a full
Schedule.
schedule is coming
So
up.
this is going on for 2 weekends, and it's a lot. I commend you because it's a lot of cats to wrangle. But I love that you're keeping the mythos of Provincetown alive.
And then one other great thing, I just finished, and the up at the monument, they're doing a retrospective, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I just did a whole narrative for Ronnie, for Sam. So there's going to be a whole shop therapy exhibit up at the
fantastic.
monument this summer.
Yeah.
So
So you
look
have
for
stuff
that too.
going on.
Look for that too.
You have stuff going on the whole year.
Yeah, we all the way to 2027. We have the whole. We have everything planned all the way up to the fall of 2027.
Amazing.
Well, check out the website, check out the opening tonight, all of the
Get-
events that they have
Yeah.
throughout the week, and I'm congratulations. And the second annual will lead to the third, and pretty soon it'll be a tradition. So
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us in.
thank you.
That was great.
And now we are going to go to Sean with the weather.
Burr.
Take it away, Sean.
Morning. I'm coming to you live from the boat slip because today is the day 2026 season officially kicks off right here in P-Town, and we are ready. But first, the weather. Today, it's looking beautiful. Mostly sunny, highs near 59, lows in the mid-40s, and just a 3% chance of rain. Basically perfect. Saturday brings some clouds and an 80% chance of rain, so enjoy today while it lasts. Sunday sees cloudy with a 70% chance of showers, but then Monday clears right up with sunshine and a high of 61. We've got a solid week ahead. Now, let's talk tides. High tide today hits right around noon at just under 9 feet, so the flats will be covered midday. Your best bet for beach walks are early morning and early evening when the tide is pulling back out. And for my late night explorers, the high is around 0 dark 30, but only 8.8 feet, so you'll have some room to roam. Just bring a jacket and maybe a friend. Woof. Now, the big news today is the first tea dance of 2026 at the boat slip, kicking off at 4 o'clock. It's tradition. It's iconic. And there is no cover. The whole town comes out, and you should too. While you're here, check out the beautiful, newly renovated atrium just behind me here. It is stunning. Tomorrow, Saturday, the party continues with the Kentucky Derby party starting at 2:30. Wear your best hat, and I mean it. Go big. Tea at 4, then Sunday we wrap up opening weekend with solid gold tea dance. What a lineup. Weekends at the boat slip continue all the way through Memorial Day, and daily tea dance starts Friday, June 12th. This season is going to be something special. I can already feel it. The weather's cooperating, the atrium's gorgeous, and the only thing missing is you. So get down here. That's all from me. Everyone have a great weekend. Bob, Mark, back to you at the PBG.
Sam, where is Sean reporting shirtless from now?
Outside of the boat slip.
He's here? He's already back to town?
He's here.
You know what Sean Naughton did to me the other day?
What?
He texted me and he goes, "Hey baby, happy International Bob Day. Can't wait to see you. I miss you. Happy birthday." And I was like, International Bob? My name's Bob. I feel like if International Bob Day was a thing, I would already know about it. And he goes, "Oh my God, sorry, wrong Bob."
Well, didn't the happy birthday tip you off?
No, I'm sorry, I told the story out of order. He told me later that he was trying to wish Bob Morgan a happy birthday.
Oh, Bob Morgan. Well, happy birthday, Bob Morgan.
So thanks for the text, Sean. Hi, Dana.
Hi.
Please welcome Select Board candidate Dana Masterpolo.
Hi.
We're very excited to have you on, and
Thanks.
so everyone knows, because Dana is a first-time candidate for Select Board, that is why we're having her on and not the other
And
candidates.
because we can do whatever we want, and we
Yeah.
wanted to talk to Dana.
Yeah, because Dana has been working for the town, working
On the planning board.
On the planning board,
Right.
and tell us a little bit about planning, what the planning board does, because I think a lot of people don't get it, and it's a pretty big part of the town.
Yeah, I think so. So the planning board has a couple functions. Most people are familiar with the fact that we review applications. So a lot of times people have a project that needs to come in front of the planning board for a special permit. So we review it and go through it. And our job is to facilitate a really positive outcome. So that's one thing. But what a lot of people don't know is that planning is actually responsible for evaluating or redesigning or rethinking zoning. And I think that's where it's really powerful. And that's where we've made a lot of progress. And we spend a lot of time on it when we're not doing applications. And I think those those things happen kind of behind the scenes, which most people aren't aware of, but I think that has the most profound impact on town.
And a lot of times we will vote on if it's a zoning regulation that is very large change that goes before town, and we get to vote on that. Like
Sure.
when we did the overlay district, and that was, as I brought up about, stores must stay stores on Commercial
Right.
Street. If you have
Right.
commercial property, it must remain commercial, and that was part
Some
of
of it. Like,
Well, that-
yeah, a percentage of it, yeah.
So that was really consequential. It's something that we at the planning board have been thinking about for several years, and it takes time for these things to develop and to get buy-in from, several different constituents. But in essence, what we were seeing, and this isn't something that just the planning board was seeing, like everybody in town was seeing, a lot of transition from commercial spaces into single-family homes or just moving away from retail. And so the opportunity was to put a bylaw out in front of town for a vote, which would preserve commercial space. And it's not necessarily 100% of commercial space for every retail store, but along Commercial Street, it was a minimum of 1,500 square feet if you had that much square footage. So it's pretty significant, and I think that will really help the town long term.
It's the vibrancy of why people come from all over the Cape to Provincetown is they come to go to the local shops and the local restaurants.
They don't come to look at a condo on Commercial Street. They come for the
Right,
life.
and if they're walking down the street and all of a sudden what used to be a small store or an art gallery is just like someone's living room, it starts to chip away at the
Right.
vibrancy of town. So I think it was a very positive
Well, and
thing.
I think we can tell it was positive. It was so widely accepted by town vote. It was very positive and it had high acceptance. So I think it was clearly something that the town wanted,
And
which
when
is
you're on one
great.
of these regulatory boards,
Yeah.
and you have all these competing interests coming at you, like how do you tune out like all the noise and try to focus on what really matters?
Well, what the planning board does, and I suppose other boards do this as well, is we take the lead from the select board. You try to understand what are the policy objectives, and you try to focus your efforts to achieve what the goals are. And so that's kind of what we start from. And we set our own goals, and we try to chip away at the most important
Can you
things.
tell us a little bit about like when did you fall in love with Provincetown?
Oh my gosh, literally one of the first times I came here. I mean, I have to clarify for everybody that I'm not from Provincetown. My parents had made this really bad decision to raise our family in upstate New York rather than P-Town, but so be it. But I fell in love with town gradually. I started coming here when I was young and came here every year, and like everybody, just this is so magical, and it really spoke to me. And so in 2017, my wife and I had this opportunity to dip our toe into the market. So we came here as second homeowners because that was the only way we could get into the market. And after several years, we kind of had a unique situation where we were able to reevaluate what was really important to us. And we decided, you know what, rather than kind of continue on the rat race and do our Boston thing, we said this is a time where we want to really come here, make it a concerted effort and decision to be in a place we want to be in for the long run. And we came here and we decided we were going to figure it out.
And so the Planning Commission, and as you sit on the chair of that,
Yeah.
is that a volunteer position?
Yes.
And
yes,
so,
of
so
course.
you moved here and you decided, how can I contribute? And-
Yeah, I
and-
mean, well, and right, because the decision to come here was to be a part of something bigger, to be able to have an impact, and you can only be on a regulatory board if you live here year round. And so as soon as we moved here, I, sought out different opportunities, and planning really was a good fit for me. My background is architecture and building and, some management consulting mixed in there. So I felt it was a really good fit and I could contribute. And so I joined probably, short order after I moved here, and I've been on the planning board for 4 years, and I've been the chair for 3 of them.
Which means that people who are on the board have decided that you have the leadership skills and that you're going to be the person in charge.
That's a very gracious way to say it, and I like to think that's the case. Sometimes the truth is that you're the last person standing and nobody wants to be the chair. But no, in essence, yes. I think that I have the confidence of the board, and they see me as a steady, reasoned thinker, and I can run a meeting well. So in the end, I think it works out really well.
As the chair of the planning board, do you have to go to the grocery store like Sunglasses hat? Are people constantly badgering you?
No, not at all. In fact, I love going to the grocery store. That's the reason why I came to a small town. Like, people actually know you. I like to go to the assessor's office and they say, "Hi, Dean, how are you?" Or you go to the grocery store and, I'm packing my bags and I chat with the women who are there. I mean, I love that. So no, people do not hassle me on the planning board.
They will when you're on the select board.
Well, I look forward to that. Sometimes I get some questions, but I'm open to it because, I really believe that people who are on boards are doing it for the very right reasons, and we're all trying to make a difference and improve what's going on. So I'm not afraid of people asking questions.
And so you have decided that what you want to do next with your time in this town is to serve on the select board, and you're one of 3 candidates
For 2 seats.
For 2 seats.
For 2 seats, yes.
And what brought you to that decision? Like, I want to have more people yell at me or whatever it is.
Well, truthfully, it's something that I've been approached several years in a row, and I was always very hesitant because I had looked back historically at the way things had gone with select board, and sometimes it was a little chaotic, a little drama, and that wasn't something I felt comfortable inserting myself into. But truthfully, it's evolved into something so much more professional and collegial and productive. Yeah. And with town management right now, which is top notch as far as I'm concerned, I felt like now is the opportunity to bring what I have learned on planning, which is a lot, and projects that I know that are in progress and some that are in the pipeline, and have an opportunity to actually build on that and improve them. And I really think that this is the unique time to do it. I'm not going in to blow things up. I'm going into offer a fresh perspective and try to improve what we already have going on.
And what I think is so fantastic about our current select board is that it is looking to the future, looking to now, but also looking to the future. How can we sustain this town? How can we grow this town responsibly? How can we keep people living in this town?
Yeah.
And they are much more progressive than they have in the past.
Sure.
And it's been a pretty low drama select board.
Yeah.
If you think of a few select boards.
Oh yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with our
top-down leadership.
Yeah, top-down leadership.
Yes.
When you go to a select board meeting, and you go to hear the report from the town manager, and it is factual, and it's not emotive,
Right.
and this is what we're doing, and if
Right.
you have a question, come to a meeting. Don't try to blow it up at the last minute, and there are meetings for reasons.
Thank God your first name's not Austin, is all I gotta say.
Can you imagine?
Works in my favor right now.
And also, I don't think sexuality or gender comes into play, but it would be nice to have another woman on the select board as another voice to balance.
Well,
I think a lot of people think that.
Listen, I'll go a step further and say I think that having better representation across the board on all of our boards is really important.
Yeah.
I mean, different perspectives offer different viewpoints, offer different voices, offer more opportunity for better outcomes. I really believe that. So I think, yes, being a woman, I think, is an advantage only because we need better representation across the board. It would also be great if we had some people of color. It would be great if we had, some folks from the trans community. It would be great if we had just better representation. So this is like one little step.
And there are a lot of boards with openings on
With vacancies, and if you want to make a difference, go to the website of the town and look at the boards and sign up for one, because it's a great experience to do it.
Yeah.
And I commend you.
Is it okay if your background doesn't align with the board?
I think if you're interested,
I'm
you
going
learn.
to say absolutely. I think the most important aspect is you have to be a measured, critical thinker that it listens well, right? You listen to what the issues are and you evaluate it based on what you're hearing. And as far as I'm concerned, the boards emotion should not play a role. It's not about personal preferences. You put that all aside. You look at a bylaw and you review something according to that. Or if you're on the select board, you listen to different perspectives and you use good judgment and you understand what serves the town best, and you approach it that way. So I don't believe you need a specific background. I mean, certainly if you're looking at drawings and you've never looked at drawings, you have a head start if you're familiar with it. But I think those are things that you can get over. And frankly, on the planning board, I've always encouraged anybody who wants to join, who really comes to it with the right attitude, we can work with you and figure it out.
What do you think the top 3 challenges facing Provincetown are right now that need addressing like yesterday?
So I'll be a little flip and say housing. But Yeah, there are others, but I mean, housing first and foremost, hands down, is the biggest thing. I mean, we all know, and not to villainize anybody at all, but there's been a huge displacement of people who were able to live here year round with such a migration to second home ownership. And we have to deal with that. We just have to be eyes wide open and recognize it, and which I think the town has, but now we have what's called the inclusionary bylaw, which means that for anybody who develops a certain number of units, you're required to put in some affordable units. And that has actually been productive, and it's helping. And I think, my background in zoning kind of says, I understand how zoning works and opportunities for us to actually improve upon what we currently do. For example, our current bylaw primarily focuses on affordable, which is a certain income stratum. But we all know, like you were talking about, physicians and EMTs and teachers and so forth, they may make too much money to qualify for that particular type of housing. So we can tweak our bylaws to make them incentivize development at a higher income band. And I would like to see that, because that's really important. And the town is actually trying that right now. It's not to say they're not doing it, but I'd like to, take an even greater approach with that. And also, underlying all of it is having really great data. And that's kind of what guides me a lot of time, is understanding what really is the problem. And I think we have a sense of it, but I really want to understand, it's not enough just to get census data and say the average income is X. Right. Because that also includes remote workers like myself. It includes people that have wealth coming from other sources. We want to really understand if, for example, our primary desire and need is people who live here and work here, then we need to understand what they earn. Mm-hmm. And are they single families? Are they two-person families? We need to figure that out so that we know exactly how to target them.
Right, because saying that people work in Provincetown and you are working in finance and you're bringing home, hundreds of thousands of dollars in finance, you are not the person that is, great, thank you for being here, but you are not contributing to just the basic nuts and bolts of what town is, and that didn't used to be an option to work remotely.
Correct.
So this has been supercharged in the last decade of people being able to sit at a computer and do a job that takes place in California.
Yeah, and I think I would make the argument, sure, they contribute, because I'm one of these people,
right.
And a lot of people I know are. We contribute, of course, to the economy here, and that's very important. But if we have limited resources and we have to prioritize where these funds go, I think we would all really agree that you need the people who are working at the bank and the grocery store and the restaurants and the bars. Otherwise, there's no reason for the rest of us to actually live here.
Or you couldn't live
you
here.
Couldn't
Unless
sustain
you just want
yourself.
To just get everything
you could not
from
sustain
Amazon.
yourself. That's exactly the point.
It's
And I think we just
it's not a community.
Right, exactly.
It's just a place where I have my house.
Yes.
Which is just property. And it's just an investment.
But I think the existential threat is that if people ultimately continue to not be able to afford to live here, then one by one every business goes away, and then over time it's a less appealing place because we lose our culture and our economy.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, it's the NIMBYism. It's the I got mine. I inherited my parents' house, and I want to live with no neighbors. So God forbid anyone develops like 6 units of housing across the street from me. And it's I got mine and you can't have yours, or you can't be part of this life because you don't have the finances.
It's a little bit of a challenge, but I think we just have to keep communicating the bigger threat, and having people recognize that yes, you can have yours, but also you have to contribute to the bigger problem, because it's going to impact all of us eventually.
Yeah, because eventually those people that were here because it was fun and vibrant, and then it stops becoming vibrant, they're like, I'm out.
I don't know if you remember, there was a time last year when Cumberland Farms couldn't open for a while.
Totally. Yeah.
I mean, and there are a lot of people, and actually I would say there are a lot of construction workers that come into town. There are a lot of people who eat at Cumberland Farms because frankly it's the least expensive place to eat, and there's food there. And they closed to very minimal hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a harbinger for what could happen, and I think people should really pay attention to that, because I'm not pro or anti-Cumberland Farms or a chain store, but the point is that an establishment that a lot of people depend on, we don't want to see those go away.
Right, because those workers who don't live here, and a lot of the tradespeople don't because they can't afford to, and they're from the other part of the Cape and they come up to work, like they're not going to be eating a restaurant for lunch.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive, and that's coming out of their pocket, and they're here to work.
And I would also say that there are people who live here in town who also eat there. I mean, frankly, it is. I mean, or get coffee there, what have you. Not everybody can, go to the other places.
No, or you go to them twice, and the other days of the week you're getting your iced coffee. It's $1.19. You know what I mean? And that's
Right.
fair, and that's
Right.
the thing.
Right.
Do you think that the current, like a lot of our zoning regs have been changed, like more dense, higher?
Yep.
Have we shrunk the square footage of like, we used to have a very high square footage of what could be deemed a studio by
Right,
law. And
right,
did we shrink
right.
that down?
I don't think we shrunk that down. I think we as a town have just recognized that people are willing and able to live in smaller square footage to be in a town like Provincetown, just like they are to live in a town like Boston or San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's not a suburban model that we can sustain, certainly, where people can live in 2,000 square feet. And, and that's a challenge, but, I came from a city and I personally live in a smaller space, and, I'm just blessed to have a house. So hopefully other folks recognize that too, but that's really where it comes from.
Yeah, and it's also, people have less stuff today. Everything's on a device, so you don't have to have the books and the records and the CDs and the larger.
How dare you?
And people can live smaller in a smaller footprint and live a good life. Yeah. And people just want to live with a roof over their head.
Yeah.
They don't
and
need
security,
a yard.
And security, yeah. Not feeling like you were saying, like year to year, you have to
Yeah,
worry
you
about,
twice a
or you
year.
have to worry about what's going to happen. We
Yeah.
want people to feel like they can actually be settled, whether it's a rental or whether it's ownership, just feeling like you are not at risk of getting kicked out in a year.
And
or
a lot
6
of
months.
people for these places that are being developed and stuff, where a lot of it is rent. A lot of the units are rentals,
Yeah.
and we're trying to do purchase things like on Shank Painter and stuff with the Christine Barker project, etc. But also de-restrict those purchases.
Yeah.
So it's a way that you are getting some equity
Right.
by putting money into a condo, but you're not going to be able to flip that condo and make $500,000 on the investment.
No,
Because
there's
for you to live.
a cap on
Yeah.
what you can make. You can certainly make a profit, but
Right.
it's not going to be the same as just when market forces let the market go
Right.
amok.
Dana, one final message for
Yes.
voters.
Yes.
Tell them whatever you want.
Oh, tell them whatever
Stump
I
speech.
want. Oh my gosh. Well, in addition to housing, I do want to say this. I'm really pro business vitality for all the reasons we talked about, because businesses are so essential to our culture and our economy. And the bylaw that we passed to retain retail space is just one step. There are other things that we can do. Coastal resiliency also cannot be ignored. It probably is the top of the list, because frankly, if a big storm comes in and washes us away half of the town, the housing goes with it. So I think we just have a new plan that was laid out. There's some low-hanging fruit that we can address, but we really need to, as a town, acknowledge it's a big deal and start taking some steps so that we have a plan for the future. So those are other things that I would say.
And on Sunday, there is a chance to chat with you and Austin Miller
Yes.
at the Harbor Lounge.
Yes, correct.
The day after tomorrow.
Yes,
Yeah,
right? I have that
from
little pic over there,
3
yeah.
to 5 at the Harbor Lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll give it some more questions to be asked, and just
Sure.
more, because people know your name associated with planning board, but don't necessarily know you as a candidate, and so it's a good way to meet you and ask
Come
questions
say hi
like
to
this.
Dana, 3 to 5 at the Harbor Lounge on Sunday.
Come say hi.
And I mean, if you haven't seen one of these signs,
Then you
and
haven't
you
done
want
anything.
one of these signs, you could reach out to Dana.
Actually, we're out of signs at this point, but I
Oh.
brought this a little bit of a joke, but I also wanted to use it to extend Lesbian Visibility Week. So
Oh my gosh! So if you are elected, you will continue our all gay, or all queer select board, right? Yeah.
yes, yes.
That's something to keep consistent.
That's-
All right. Well, I think
that's a show.
I think that's awesome.
Thank you so
All
much
right.
for your time.
Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much. This was great. I appreciate it.
So
Thank you.
vote early or on May 12th.
Yes.
Pay attention, be part of the solution by using your voice to vote. And don't complain afterwards when it doesn't go your way.
And my name is not Austin.
And so I want to give a big thanks to William Kay for supporting our show. If you want to be a supporter, please hit us up on Venmo. Send us a little do-re-mi that helps us to keep this show going. I want to thank the PBG for hosting us, PTV for airing us, also our big sponsors, the Boat Slip, Prouder Together, the Queen Vic Guest House, and Test and Treat.
Thanks, everybody. Oh, and thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
And we'll see you next
week.
Friday.
Bye, guys.
Can I have some coffee?